Hey, I'm Matthew from Living Tesla. Have you ever noticed the top of the Model 3's trunk is just painted metal? They didn't put anything like this on the top like they did on the sides. That may be because they wanted to save some weight, maybe they wanted to save some cost, but it just kind of makes it look unfinished. I've seen these around the internet. It's just kind of the finishing piece to go up there. They make some claims, though, about it also making the car quieter. I'm skeptical about that, but it also makes me wonder if it makes the car quieter, does it also make the subwoofer back here quieter? So let's put it to the test. I've seen where a few people have done some before and after tests with these, but they really only used an app on their phone or maybe a sound level meter. And if you've watched any of my previous sound level testing videos, you know that's not good enough for me. So we're going to use an audio recorder. We'll get sound clips before and after and take those back and do some data analysis. We'll generate frequency response curves, so from 20 Hertz to 20 kilohertz, we can compare the two. We can subtract one from the other, and we can really nail down if there's a difference and where that difference is. This also gives us audio clips, so we can compare them side by side. And if you can see a difference in the graphs, you can hear a difference in the audio clips, you can be pretty confident that there's actually a difference. I've already gone and done the before test. So I drove a loop around my neighborhood with a rough road and a smooth road, both at 50 miles an hour in a 2018 rear-wheel drive Model 3 with the 18-inch Aero wheels. For the subwoofer test, I have a WAV file with pink noise on it. I just ran the dial on the steering wheel up to 20 clicks and did the same audio recording. So we're at the point now where we're ready to install the liner. So the way this is going to work, it has 6 holes in the liner that match up to 6 holes on the underside of the deck. It comes with these little screws and threaded bars that go up in the hole and then they swing over and that lets it tighten up. I don't know what you call these exactly, but I guess we'll call them swing nuts because that's what they do. So we'll start by laying down back here and just trying to kind of find the position where these holes line up. Kind of makes sense to me to do this one first. These use 10 millimeter. Or they do also have just like a Phillips head on them. Not that it really matters at all if they're tight, since they don't hold anything. Except a flimsy piece of pressed cotton, I guess. Alright, on to the back. So back here, I especially want it to look good along this back part, since that's mostly what I'm going to see. So we have adhesive strips that are going to stick up here. We have adhesive that runs along the back. And it comes with 2 packs of adhesion promoter. So we'll go ahead and do this. So it looks like it's going to run here and here. And then just kind of along this ledge. ridge on. Reach underneath. Stick that ridge on. I'd say that looks pretty good. I say that looks pretty OEM to me. If nothing else, looks good. We'll see if it makes any difference for sound now. So let's see what the data has to say about it. So we'll start with the rough road. We have the before in blue and the after in red, and this is what it sounded like. The plots are pretty well stacked on top of each other, so I'm not really expecting to see much change here. So here's the rough after subtracted from the before. And you can see right in the middle is our 0 mark, so that would mean no change. Anything below 0 means it got quieter with the change. Anything above 0 means it got louder. The graph is a little noisy, but overall, there's really no consistent trend. You could maybe say between 5,000 and 10,000, it's down a little bit, like maybe 1 decibel. But 1 decibel, that's the threshold of human hearing, and it's very likely that that's just within the uncertainty of the testing method. Here's the smooth, again with before in blue and after in red. Here's what they sound like. And again, the graphs are pretty well stacked on top of each other, so I don't expect to see much difference here. Here's the smooth after minus before. Again, things are pretty much centered around 0. In that 5,000 to 7,000 range, this one actually looks like it increased. So again, that's the threshold of hearing. This is probably just variability in the testing method. So here are 2 audio plots. Before is in blue, after is in red. Again, pretty well stacked on top of each other. There's a little something going on in the 400 to 600 hertz range, but there's really no clear, consistent trend across the graph. So here's the audio after minus the before. I limited this one to just 20 hertz to 200 hertz because what we're really interested in is the bass. So in that 40 to 100 hertz range, there's clearly no change there. In the 140 to 180 hertz range, there may be a -1 decibel change, but again, that's pretty much imperceptible. So there you go, data doesn't lie. I can't hear a difference when I listen to the clips. I can't see a difference in the graphs. So I'm saying doesn't really help out with road noise. Now the upside to that is it doesn't really seem to negatively impact the subwoofer either. So if you're just looking for a cosmetic upgrade, totally recommended. I got this one from Taptez. It looks great. The hardware it came with was all great. Fits great. Easy to install. Totally recommended. I can find them on Amazon and eBay also. I haven't tried them, but they look to be identical. But in either case, we'll post links in the description to all of them. If you use those links, they help out the channel, and we totally appreciate that. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. But until next time, hope this helps. Thanks for watching.